Today we fight the Wither. Not because I need to or anything like that, but I think it would be fun to have a beacon. So, plus it's on the adventure board, so we're gonna go fight a Wither. But first we need to head to the Nether so that we can get ourselves some Wither skulls. Oh boy. Whew, that guy scared me. Oh, I'm being shot at. Stop it. I did it. I didn't even see it, but I did it. Awesome. Got another. Well, that was easy. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Let's Play series. Glad you can make it. Yeah, so we're excited today because we're going to fight a Wither and finally get ourselves a beacon. Again, I don't really need one for any specific project, but it will be nice to have one for when we do need to do a lot of excavating and digging around. I'll probably need a beacon if I'm going to clean out some of this, crevice in the mountainside. Hello, cutie pie. Anyway, before I had made my way into the Nether, I decided to make myself a pair of gold boots. That probably would have saved me a death in the Nether a couple of episodes ago last episode, while we were mining up all of that, all of those magma blocks. But, oh well, you learn and you live and you live and you learn. Of course, now that we're not in the Nether, I can probably switch those back. That's fine. And we'll put them away for safekeeping. So last episode, we built this little farm here up in the sky, and I had a short AFK session up here, and I wanted to show you what we had earned. Make it up. There we go. Well, it's not much, but after about an hour of sitting there, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm not going to need a ton of this stuff, so having a little bit is going to go a long way. I'm going the wrong way. Right, so we are in the end now, and not because we're going to be fighting the Ender Dragon, but because I had seen something quite a while ago that I kind of wanted to try out, and it's a way to kind of cheese the Wither fight. I could fight the Wither, just out in the open, and I'm sure that would be fine, and all would go well, but I wanted to do something that I haven't done before. And so what I'm doing is I'm digging underneath the portal that takes us back to the overworld, right here in the middle of the End Island. And like I said, I haven't done this before, but I did see somebody do it once upon a time. And basically what they did was they spawned the Wither in underneath this hole, or underneath the portal here, and they got the Wither stuck in the bedrock. This is my bedrock texture. And it wasn't able to fly away or cause any damage or any sort of that stuff. So I'm going to try and replicate it and see if I can do it, but I'm not sure if I can. So I'm just gonna clear some room here, get everything set up, and we'll try and get the Wither down. Okay, so I have an obsidian block here, right in the middle of the portal bottom, I guess. I think this is the middle. Yeah, this is the middle right here. And it is, it's 2 blocks of air. And normally you would need 3 blocks of space to spawn in the Wither if you do it this way. But obviously you can't put the Wither heads on top of the soul sand because of the bedrock. So what you can do is lay it on its side. And actually I'm going to do it on this side here, close to my exit. And I think this is all that you need to do in order to get this to work. So if you do those 2 guys and then the one in the middle, I think that's going to spawn the Wither in right on top of this obsidian block, and then he's going to get lodged up in the frame here. So let's try it out. So far so good. Let's take a couple steps back here so that we don't get any explosion damage. Let's see. Okay. All right, looks good. So let's whack him a couple of times. I think this is good. Yeah, no damage. He's just freaking out a little bit. That's fine, that's no big deal. But he is stuck in there, and we are taking this down with ease. And there we go. Okay, awesome. Well, we got ourselves another star, and now we can craft our beacon. That was pretty easy. And to craft a beacon, all you need is 5 pieces of glass, 3 pieces of obsidian, and your nether star. Ta-da! Awesome. Alright, so that wither fight was a little easy. So let's ramp it up a little bit. I've dug down around the stone and deep slate transition, and I think we're gonna go do some mining. So I've got 3 more skulls here, and let's try this out. Let's see how well this goes. Alright, there he goes. So now, if I just grab his attention, he should be coming straight for me this way, breaking up all of the deep slate. So now I'm mining. Theoretically, that's what should be happening here. Oh my, I have a good bow. He's already in the hit me phase. Come here. There you go. I would have thought that he'd be breaking more of the deep slate by now, but he does seem to be taking his time. Come on this way. Over here, pal. Yeah, that's not gonna do anything, because, hi. Ah! This is not a very efficient way to mine. Okay, yeah, this is not going as well as I thought it was, so I'm just gonna end it. Okay, when I'm closer to him, it seems to work a little better. Yeah, okay. Well, let's pick up all of our loot and see how many blocks he broke. Alright, so after all of that, we've got about 5 to 6 stacks worth of deep slate, some of which I already had in my inventory, hence the not being cobbled variant. So overall, it's not a super effective way of mining. I think a beacon might be a better option. Plus, you don't have to worry about getting withered away when when fighting that guy. But anyway, we're gonna head back up, craft up another beacon since we've got another nether star, and we'll be good to go. Well, now that we've fought a wither, 2 withers actually, I think we can now mark off this one here on our adventure board. So we are making some very good progress, and you know what? I think the next thing that we're going to start working on is a bee farm. And I've always wanted to do a bee farm, not just in this world, but in any Minecraft game that I've played. So I'm gonna get some materials together, and then I think what I'm going to do actually is clear out a couple of the trees in this spot here, and I want to create a sort of greenhouse type style house with like well, let me just get some stuff together and I'll show you. Alright, so this is it. This is the greenhouse bee farm. And I just want to give you a quick little tour of it from the outside first. So it's sort of barn shaped again, like my other builds. And on this side, we do have a little bit of a greenhouse. But yeah, I don't want to show you too much from the outside. I want to show you the inside. The inside's really cool. So yeah, again, we're keeping elements that we've already established in our other builds. So we've got a pretty dark base with the copper roofs. This seems a lot more detailed than some of my other builds. So maybe I should go back and add a little bit more to these guys, kind of round them out a little bit better. But anyway, let's head inside. You can already hear the bees working away. So I've set it up sort of like a storefront. So this would be like the main lobby. You've got your service desk or whatever. You ring the bell, and then someone comes out to help you, of course. So yeah, not a whole lot to see here. Although, and I can't really show it all that well, but if I break this, maybe you'll be able to see it. There's a minecart right here, underneath a row of moss blocks, and this is constantly picking up honeycomb and honey bottles, and I'll show you how it does that in a second. But if I open up this barrel here, you'll see, yeah, we've already made a few things from these bees, and that's super cool and exciting. So let's put that back. So yeah, as this starts to fill up, I can, take the honeycomb out and use it in crafting, or I can put it in like this barrel, and this will be for the honeycomb, and then this one will be for the honey bottles, or whatever you want it to be, I guess. And then moving over this way, this is the greenhouse. It doesn't serve any function. It's just here to look nice, and honestly, that is okay. Sometimes you don't need things to be functional. You just need it to look nice. So, yeah, it's overgrown with all the different kind of blue plants that you can find, because again, this area has a bit of a growth problem with some weird blue energy stuff. So everything's kind of blue here. Anyway, moving on back, again, this is the service area. We've got a couple of decorations back here. Some, what are these called? The berries? Glowberries, that's right. A couple more barrels for storage. Of course, nothing's in them, but again, this is just to look nice. And that lever there is to keep the powered rails on. Now, let's move on to something that's really cool. So this is just here temporarily, but if we head on up, this is the bee farm, and yeah, it's super simple. You have a row of beehives in there that all the bees go into and deposit their honey, and there's also one on this side. Oh, and you just saw some honeycomb pop out there. The row of moss blocks under here is that same row of moss blocks that I talked about earlier. There's a minecart under there that picks up all of the drops and then puts them in the barrels for me. So yeah, we've got 10 beehives in here. I couldn't tell you how many bees there are, but there's quite a few. Oh, and one thing that was a bit of a pain in the butt while building this was the amount of pillagers that came to give me a bit of a visit. Because again, I'm right next to this outpost here, so you just keep hearing them, and they show up and want to fight you all the time. Get out of here. Oh, I've got a whole party coming at me now. Leave! You're not welcome. I got something that'll take care of him. Now I wanted to mention that the terraforming that I've done here on the side is not complete. I do have a couple of plans for this area, actually, that's going to kind of give it a bit more structure. So there's still a bunch of details that need to work out there, but essentially the thought process is this is going to turn into a sort of retaining wall. I might bring it out a bit from the side of the building here. I want to give a few more blocks of walking distance here, but yeah, a retaining wall in this area. It's going to kind of go all the way around and connect up to the side of the mountain here. And then this area is going to get a little bit of an overhaul. We're going to get rid of the bamboo, of course, and then kind of extend the paths out, move the adventure board. But yeah, so I do have a couple of plans in place. It's just a matter of getting to them. But yes, the honey and bee farm is complete. I can put the iron bars back in and tear down this scaffolding. Oh, I'm missing a block. There we go. Ah, leave me alone. So yeah, bee farm is done, and we are ready to move on to the next thing. I've had a thought over the past few episodes of putting in some sort of a wall / border between my area and the pillagers. And as we continue to move in closer to this outpost, I'm thinking that's going to become a little bit more necessary as we move into this area. So I got to come up with some sort of a design and also determine where exactly this wall needs to go, because the spawning radius around the outpost is actually quite large. So I need to make sure that I'm getting it in the right spot. Otherwise, we're going to have pillagers spawning on the wrong side of the wall, and that would not be good. So Yeah, let's go get a couple of blocks and we'll kind of work out a design and a pattern together. Something I don't normally do actually is build on camera with you guys. So yeah, let's take this opportunity to kind of work on something together, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I'm in a backup of our world in creative mode because I wanted to show something that is a lot easier to showcase here in creative. So I have installed on my computer a mod that will show me the bounding boxes of different structures. This is part of the mini HUD mod if anyone is interested. And so you can see around the pillager outpost that there are areas where it's showcasing where different little aspects of pillager outposts can spawn in. This bounding box doesn't accurately show where the pillagers will spawn though. However, I've done some testing and I've noticed that they will spawn within this green zone plus one chunk. So if I turn on our chunk borders here, they will spawn anywhere in this area around the green perimeter. So that is the area in which we need to contain in order to prevent all of these little guys from joining us on our side of the fence. So here's a different view of what I was talking about. I just put some red wool around the perimeter here to give you a better understanding, a better idea of what we're working with. And it's kind of a lot of area. I obviously don't need to put a wall around the entire thing, especially since we're only kind of in this area for now. And we definitely shouldn't need a wall in the water, but for our purposes, this area we definitely need to focus on, seeing as how we're spending most of our time in this area here. So let's figure out what we're going to put over here and maybe a little bit towards this way as well. That will just give us a little bit of room to expand out this way in the future. Okay, so I am back in the real world and I have my chunk borders still turned on. I'm going to start the wall over here, and I'm not going to put it right up against the edge of the border because I want to give myself some room to make the wall not just one block wide, but maybe a couple of blocks. So by putting it here, that ensures that nothing's going to spawn on top of the wall. Now, I am going to use deep slate, but I'm not going to use it quite like this. See, the cool thing with deep slate is you can either place it down this way with the pattern going in a more horizontal fashion, or if you place it on the side of a block, then you get a more vertical orientation. And I think that looks really nice. So I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to do this in a repeating pattern. So I'm going to actually use some of these walls to create a sort of in-out pattern. And I'm just going to take that all the way down and all the way across and go from there. Then we'll touch it up and do all sorts of stuff. But I want to start with just the base of the wall, and I think this is going to be a good start. Rude. Oh. Was that the first time I used that? Yeah. Alright, cool. Okay, we have the beginning of a wall started, and it already seems to be working. It's keeping this little guy out of here, which is great, even though it's, not touching the water over here. He could totally get around if he wanted to. But yeah, this is the start of this side of the perimeter, and now all we need to do is just keep building, add more detail. Okay, I made a little bit of progress on the wall, and although I do like it, it is kind of sinking into the ground a little bit in places, and I'm thinking up here it might actually be nice to have the ground level with the wall on this side so you can very easily get on it. But then on this side, this hill is going to come down a couple of blocks so it's still a wall on this side. So I'm going to remove some of the dirt over here and clean up this transition all along this side. Oh, no. I shot it by accident. Oh, did he die? Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, I think we got him. And I didn't get bad omen. Okay, cool. Whew, I was a little worried there for a second. Okay, so the wall and bonus path is now all done. I'm just kind of running through here and adding in a couple of finishing touches. Mainly just getting a little bit of bone meal in, making all this tall grass, getting rid of the flowers too, because we don't want it to seem too lively. I'll tell you what, these guys, it's very hard to work in this area with them coming at you from every angle all the time. It's just a lot. So, but we're making things happen, and it's working out pretty good. I am really enjoying the way that this place is coming together. I think it's looking super, super cool. I may need to come back with some like string or something so that these don't continue to grow and become the 3 tall, because then it looks a bit too uniform. I want a little bit of randomness here still. But yeah, other than that, everything looks really, really nice. So I did make a change to the original wall pattern, just slightly. It's still using the same blocks and the same color palette, but I have exchanged the walls out for just regular blocks. And the reason why I did that was because I was running into some issues over here. And essentially, what was happening was this portion of the wall was essentially a retaining wall. It is a retaining wall. Down here, the ground is... Well, hey guys! Over here, this portion of the wall is, or this ground level is lower. So I was running into an issue here where these walls were not showing up very well. I don't have any blocks on me to demonstrate that, but the walls didn't look as clean as they would have otherwise. So I exchanged it out for blocks, and I think that is a fine change. It doesn't have it doesn't quite have the same amount of depth as the other pattern, but it still works, and I think overall this area looks really, really nice. I went with a coarse dirt path with some spruce slabs here to, help with the elevation. We've got some sugar cane, we've got all the warped stuff kind of planted around everywhere, and of course the lanterns to kind of help this place feel a little better at night. And I guess in the day too. It looks, fine in the day as well. Gotcha. Oh dear, they know about me now. I'm a big fan of what I've done with this wall here, so I think I'm going to take that same design and apply it to the retaining wall over here. But I don't think I'm going to get to... There's so many arrows in me. I don't think I'm going to be getting to that today, so I will tackle that again in a later episode. But yes, for today, I am very, very happy and excited with all the progress I've made with this wall and everything else that we've done. Get out of here. Wow. Haha. Building a wall isn't on our adventure board, so there's nothing here for me to mark off, but it was an important step for me in order to kind of expand outwards. Again, because without this wall, all these guys are just going to see me working out in this area here once we do start to move into it, and having this wall is going to protect us. Anyways, everyone, that's going to be it for me for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.